Now, what does it all mean? They just seem like random notes. When you layer the notes correctly in the right sequence, it keys into something in the consciousness that's difficult to explain. But if you've ever heard that high-pitched tone in or around your ears, just seems to be there, comes and goes at odd times, then you may understand a little bit about what we're doing here. We're simply aligning frequencies that already exist within the person, and we're expressing them externally so they hear them, often for the first time clearly since childhood. What happens when people hear these series of notes, something within the mind seems to say, hey, I remember this in some way. I remember this pattern or this energy, and it goes back to right the early time when the body was formed, when the mind was being formed, where these frequencies were much more audible to the baby. And it seems to reset a little background section of the mind and take it back to that early stage. It's like hearing your mother's voice. It takes you back to an earlier part of your life. And just like you reset a computer when the programs are not running right, you just reinstall the software and hey, the computer runs again. The mind seems to go on to a sort of a reinstall when it hears the correct notes. I don't really know how or why it works, but I do know that it does work, and we've had so many examples of quite miraculous healings for no apparent external reason. What I do find specifically is that the music itself doesn't heal. It's just notes. What does happen, it seems to align the person up and they just walk into the right doctor's office, or they pick up a newspaper and there's the answer to their health question printed out in front of them. We've had so many cases where things have just turned out right, like the German fellow who came out. His daughter-in-law said, oh, get one of these CDs done by Michael, he's might help. And she didn't even know he was dying, she just could see he wasn't particularly well. I did a 15-minute tape, this is in the very early days. He literally got home and collapsed. They took him into hospital, whereas a doctor who was at the Ballina Hospital at that point in time had done a doctorate on exactly what this man's problem actually was. He'd been misdiagnosed, he had a virus in the bone marrow, and by taking a series of simple drugs, he prolonged his life by another 2 years, where he expected to be dead literally within weeks. So it works in miraculous ways, in a sense. The only person in the world who had done his doctorate on exactly what his problem was happened to be in the area where he travelled from Germany, and the coincidences are astonishing. This is what happens all the time. Next, we're going to actually take a look at a real-life chart and show you how to construct the chart from go to woe. Thank you.